Hello everyone, welcome back to Enemy Action Kharkov. As promised, I'll try and make some videos which will focus on playing Enemy Action Kharkov in a computer using the well-known software VASSAL. And yes, well, uh, many of you I know that they don't like playing board games in computer screens. I mean, I get it. There are so many disadvantages. Uh, Small screens and not the same feeling, and opening closing windows. But if you are like me, we're a gamer with no dedicated space for board games or board games, and you will immediately appreciate Vassal. I mean, it's life-saving for me because I mean, long games that take days or even, well, my German solo playthrough for Enemy Action Kharkov took 6 months because yeah, it takes long to shoot videos, and you just have to do all sort of stuff. So yeah, if you don't have a dedicated space for your games, I mean, Vassal is indeed life-saving. Also, it helps you when you play remotely with other players. Okay, so in these videos I will not get into in detail in how to use Vassal, but let's start by sync Vassal. Okay, this is the you can see the page for the game, and yeah, that's Enemy Action Kharkov right there, but the module is in the main Vassal page. So let's start by this. So this is the Vassal. You get to the address vassalengine.org, and here is it. You can get it for various platforms. Okay, I'm obviously running Linux, so yeah, here are all the available downloads. I mean, all all the major operating systems are there. You need Java. Yeah, you can see that. And well, the good thing about Vassal is that it is actively supported. It's got an active community, and you can find all kinds of modules for board games and board games, and you can there is a chat forum. There's everything you need to help you get started with it. So okay, let's before proceeding though, let me show you something else. Okay, so okay, that's it. So in this page, please let me say something. Do not forget, if you can afford to support Vassal through make a donation. It's free, it's open source, but it's totally helping out gamers everywhere. So if you can, please don't forget to support Vassal. So after you download and install Vassal on your computer, it's time for the modules. So go to the modules section. Okay, let me say something that some of the modules are in this section, the Vassal module section. However, some of the modules are listed in its game companies page along with the game. Well, different companies have different policies, and it's okay, it's a good point to say a few things. Let me point out that normally Vassal modules do not include everything you need to play the game. I mean, typically they don't have the rule books. Obviously, they don't have all the player's aids. I mean, it's not that you get the module and you instantly can play the game, and you shouldn't do that. You should buy the games and support the people designing them, the companies that publish them. Vassal is meant to help people first to get the space they need to play a game, and also to bring players from different parts of the world to play together. Vassal supports play by mail, live play, and everything, because it's too difficult to get live players. So you go to the modules, and there's the module for enemy action Kharkov. It's completely fresh, brand new, I'd say, late 2022. You maybe have seen I don't know if it's the same module, but you have seen a module used by John Butterfield himself when he was interviewed and sampled, gave us a sample of gameplay in the YouTube channel of Moz. So yeah, it's something similar. So this is these are the modules. There are 3 modules because it's 3 players. It's 2-player version, the German solo and the Soviet solo version. So you download, I mean, you should probably download all 3 of them and get them in your computer, and then you just import them into Vassal. As I've said, I'm not going to go into details here about Vassal installation, use, and stuff like that. You can read about it in the Vassal help pages, in the Vassal forum. I mean, it's quite intuitive, so you will have no problems with that. The support is very good, and the chats and forums. So yes, you should do that. So you then go to your computer and run Vassal. So let's see what is going to happen when you run Vassal. So when you run Vassal, this is the home screen, let's say, that you get, and it shows the modules you have already imported into the system. When you need to get a new module into the system, you get file, open module. You don't want to edit it unless you're a developer. There are some tools about server here if you are joining a server remotely, and there's the help as well. And okay, here's the enemy action Kharkov German solo. Let's start with this because it's the one I have played and studied the rules too. So you just double click the module. It takes well, my computer is very old, so it takes some times, and then you're greeted. Oh, it's another window, and this is what you get. Not impressive right now, but it will get better, promise you. So this is the main screen of the Vassal. You can already see they've got the German HUD, the various charts, the Soviet display, stuff like that, and there's the wizard. You can obviously you can skip the wizard. There's a selection here, but you have the options to start a new game offline, which is what we'll do. You can look for a game online, and most importantly, you can load the saved game, because of course you save before turning off your computer. You save the game, the current status of the game, so you just load it and continue next day or after a few days. So start the new game offline, next, and here you select the setup of the game. So you have just a general new game, and there are also the scenarios here. The initial assault, 3 scenarios are already included. So let's go for the campaign game. Short loading appears, and we're ready to go. And that's the one of the good things about Vassal, is that it greatly simplifies setup and tidying up, because I mean, the setup is already there. So the sorry, not finished. Next, and you choose the sides. Obviously it's a Sarma solo, so you can join as an observer, but this will not work well. Each module has its own instructions, which you may read. You should read, actually. So we're solo in the game, and now press finish, and you have the option, that's the game, and you have the option to start a new log file. Log file allows you to keep a track of what is happening in the map in the game. It's quite useful mostly when you play with other players, and so they can check your movements and stuff like that. Very useful when you play by email or stuff. You just get the log file, send it to the other players, they check your movements, and then they add their own and stuff like that. We will not be needing this now, at least not for our purposes, so no. And let me just maximize screen. So, and now you can see the let's say one of the disadvantages I was talking about is that you you can have a bird's eye view of the whole map as you would if you had it in your table. Of course, this depends on your screen. You can always minimize this messages window. You can of course, there are zooms, the very zooms zoom levels. You can fit various percentages, and it's always, you can zoom in and zoom out of the map, which is quite useful. You have the various counters, and this is scenario, I mean pre-adjustment. Of course, you have to do the adjustment as yourself. I mean, Vassal is not trying to automate everything. I mean, depending on the module, there is some degree of automation, and yeah, that will help the players with upkeeping, like drawing cards automatically and stuff like that. But it's VASSAL is about simulating the tabletop experience, so you have to do things by hand. There's well, there is some automation, but not a great one. So you can see here the modules on map, and the you have to scroll. Units in reserve box. The moment you hover there, you get an expanded view, zooming in the unit, so this facilitates things, so you know which unit it is. The same, of course, happens on map, and when there's a stack of unit like this one, you can see that it shows all units which are in the stack. The same here for the reinforcements. I mean, all the counters, I mean, it's an exact copy. The objectives up here, this is an exact copy of what you'd have on your table. So let me scroll a little bit. You can see the reserve units here, the VPs. There's space for the cards and some instructions that are here. However, okay, let's try the zoom. You can zoom in, and you can, yeah, and of course zoom out. And I think this is the maximum zoom out, well, you can get. It still requires some scrolling depending on the screen, but it's unavoidable. You can select, of course, your zoom levels depending on what you want to do. You can have if you're placing guards and stuff, you probably want to zoom out. If you want to focus on 925 or moving or singlets in the hex, you can zoom in. So there's this useful thing, the show hide counters, so you can study the terrain. See, yeah, and okay, let's get well, there's some controls here for the server if you're into playing with another through a server. We're not getting into this, and this is quite helpful. There is an undo last move and step forward through log file. But this is quite useful. You can undo the moves if you have made a mistake. You can quickly undo them manually, and everything you do, it appears here. So if I let me get the, yeah, I'm going to do a little bit. You can see everything that you do, it seems here. So for example, I'll get it back. If I move this unit, you see it says what it has done. It doesn't say exactly. It says solo, it's the player. I'm the solo player. I move it within the map. That's what that means. But you can see that you can keep a log, and I could undo last move. See, I did both moves, so it's okay. So there's also context menus, which known as right click. So let me zoom in. Okay, right click. If you right click, send to reserve units, eliminated units, remove unit from play. You can get it to some map edges. Activation, you can activate the unit. You can mark it as moved. The unit status, out of supply isolated. So this minimizes the moving the counters. Of course, it's perfectly possible to just use the counters and manually do it, and the step loss is automated. But these are nice additions that help you with your play. And you can, since I've mentioned counters, this is the counter list. You can see that you have to, as I've said, you'll have to do this. So we have all the units here. First Guards Army, 6th Army Mobile Group Popov, the Voronezh Front, very nicely organized. The Germans, and normally you wouldn't be using them, but they're available just in case. And these are the markers you are going to use. Much of the game, the garrisons markers, the out of supply, the improved position stuff, but deactivated. But most of it is taken care by the right click or else context menu. So the counters, the way Vassal is built, if you click again on a button here, it will just disappear. It's a simple toggle system, which is, let me minimize this. So of course the die, if you press this, you roll the die. So see, 1d10 gives us a 4. It's not necessary to use it. You can have a your die tower or die space or whatever, die tray sorry, next to you, and just physically roll the die. It's just perfectly possible. And you should, as I've said, you should also have the rule book and the player aids by your side, because there's nothing like that. It's going to be needed. Of course, the combat seats are not going to be needed because they've got combat seat. Let me. Oh yeah, this is it. The combat seat, and you draw, and there's this useful button to return all the combat seats back to the mag. And again, as I've said, it's perfectly, then again click here and just disappears. So again, it's perfectly possible to have your physical cheats and just draw them. No, there's nothing in the game that prevents this. Also the command cards, you could use the command depending on this, but the point is that if you use Vassal, it's because you have limited space, and you maybe have to save between games and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's perfectly possible to use any component of the game you want in a physical form. And let's see the German command card display. It's exactly the same as the physical one. However, there are some instructions as to how you are going to use it I mean, right click, it says right click to shuffle available supplemental cards, and the restrictions on how to use them, how to get them to the various places. I mean, if you right click again, again there's a shuffle and draw multiple cards. That's how you get cards there, and the prior cards are already there, the ones you need because it's the scenario. And again, from here you draw after you you conclude the command card display, you draw your cards from here, but I will show it later. So let's close this. The Soviet reinforcement cards, they're the same. There are some instructions how you should do it. There's buttons to send to Soviet draw deck. It's the reinforcement cards here. The initial cards are right here, and it says here during setup adjustment, right click to choose card by card number. I will see it in action in our next video. And again, the German hand, it's sorry, yes, the German hand is there, and you can see that the game, this card is always in our hand, and there's the button here, you draw cards from your draw pile, so it's automated. And there is this mask and mask cards. It just does this, which can be useful in some situations. Okay, so again, you can always use the X here to close it, no problem, or you can go there, yeah, no problem. The chart window menu, it's got just this one. This is the only play rate that's there, which is the Kirill summary, the first page of the play rate. I mean, just as a sample, they're not used, but just a sample there. And there's the units which are removed from play box, just a holding box for the units that are removed from play and not getting back in case you need it. So again, we've said have you seen everything? No, okay, this is quite useful. The image capture, if you want to post your images, keep images, or just ask a question about a specific situation, Board Game Geek. So yeah, that's your friend. You capture an image of a unit of the map situation and stuff, and then you just post it. I think it's PNG format. Yes, it's PNG format. Very useful. Button to deactivate units if you have activated by mistake or on purpose, and the moved markers, because it's time you move a unit there. I think you have to activate it first. Just let me try it. Yeah, I think so. Okay, you mark it as moved. There's a little marker here, mark it move, and if you click this, then it unmoves the unit. So yeah, I should have first, yeah, do it this way. So yeah, don't worry, be resetting this before using the game, just showing you the various capabilities. Okay, let's say, let me show you the activation. If I press activate, you see it gives it a yellow. Now let me zoom in. Okay, yeah, you see that there's a yellow now. Oh come on, I have forgotten the words. Okay, border. There's a yellow border around the unit, so it's activated. And if you have watched any playthroughs like Grunts or mine, you see that it's quite used to turn the activated units counterclockwise, as John Brown, I think, suggested. But the module uses a different system. It has this border, yellow border, to show that it's activated. activate. And so when you deactivate the units, you just press the deactivate button, and oops, why it doesn't, ooh, doesn't work. Oh, mark activation done. Okay, oh, it's interesting. Activate, you mark the activation as done when you finished with the unit, and then yeah, you have to mark the activation as done. Well, that's interesting. Again, it's not mandatory to use this, it's just to help you get the units, to help you play the game. So another nice thing I have noticed is that unit status, improved position, let's say, they have taken care so the counters representing the improved positions, and I think the out of supply too, yeah, the dispersed and unit status, yeah, the out of supply, all markers that are placed on top of units are actually sized so as to be smaller than the units themselves, so you can see what's underneath. And yeah, okay, so let me undo. It's very useful to undo stuff. And yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything. The objectives here, you will get them to the player, and there is the help here, and let me show you the help. And there is the PDF file here, which opens, and it's actually the instructions for the module. You should always read. I mean, it's quite intuitive as you have seen, but you should always read the instructions because they generally help with the setup. For example, here it explains how the cards work, how the encounters work, how the border works. Okay, and I mean, in other games which have more complicated setups, let's say card decks and stuff, there are instructions for these as well, and yeah, for moving units and stuff. So yes, I mean that's all. Let me get, yeah, some zoom out here, so you can always zoom in the appropriate space and see what's happening. So I think that's as good an introduction as can be. Well, I have said some things about Vassal and the modules, and I have shown you the basic functions of the module. And when you finish your game for the day, you just click File. You can load game or log, or you can save the game as you would expect, or just save game here. It's the same, and it opens. You choose where to save the game. You give it a name. Let's say ERC GSO GS test. Okay, it doesn't matter. You press okay, it's in Greek, I know, but save. So it has there is comments. You can enter comments. I don't know why, I have never used comments, but you can enter file comments. If you they can be useful if you send the file to someone else, if you need to keep a reminder stuff. So I say okay, cancel, and now it is saved. You see here the saving game and game saved, so that's okay. If we go now to load game, okay, here's our save. Packages test VSAV, it's a point VSAV, but it's a small file, okay, some kilobytes. So that's how you save games, and then you just load the game, and you'll find the same situation as you were there. And finally, of course, there you can quit and close and stuff. There are some preferences here, but I find the defaults are okay. I don't think you should, at least unless you know exactly what you're doing or servers and stuff. I couldn't, be tweaking these. It works perfectly well as it is, and yeah, I think that's all for now. So we'll be back. I don't know if I'm going to get a full playthrough for this. I'll try and get through some cards through the setup procedure and stuff, so as you get a feel of how the game plays on Vassal, and depending on on the interest, on your interest and available time and other projects, maybe this will develop into a full playthrough. So I think that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video, and I think you should at least give Vassal a chance, try it out, and if you're in the same situation like me, it will probably give you a better game, more chances to play your favorite games. So that's all for now. See you in the next episode.